Welcome back, kids, to another show of Daddy's Bedtime Stories. Today's stories are very special. Today we are going to learn how to settle an argument between friends and others by reading Little Piggy and the Farm Crisis. Isn't that lovely? Once upon a time, there lived a little piggy named Sam. Sam was a small piggy who enjoyed watching butterflies flying together as if they were dancing.
Excuse me, sir. You're not supposed to be in here?
However, his show was interrupted by two farm animals fighting.
Hey, stop! Tackle!
The little piggy was frightened by commotion and
Tackle it!
Sorry, kids, for my intrusion, but someone had to stop these bozos from brainwashing you with this fairy tale about pigs and donkeys and crap. What's a pig gonna teach you? They play in the mud. And what's mud got to do with a crisis except for causing it? Baloney. Allow me to read a chapter from my life to teach you how to handle a crisis. My name is Bruce McTackle. I am the Officer First Class Lead Agent of the Crisis Intervention Unit for the University of New Orleans. Whenever a crisis occurs on campus, they call me to intervene. Now, I know you must be asking yourself, doesn't a unit have to be more than one person? Well, kids, the word uni actually stands for one, and I'm it. That's right, I'm a one-man show. Every day I put my life and reputation on the line. Just last week, there have been reports at the library of a rambunctious student complaining to a librarian about unfair charges for an overdue book or something. When I arrived at the scene, I saw him waving the book sporadically. Its sharp edges could prove dangerous. I acted fast, however, and tackled him down and avoided any casualties. Shortly after that, I tracked down a well-known litterbug. Although he had been warned many times by campus police, his disgusting, uncensored behavior never stopped. That is until I intervened. But instead of sending these type of troublesome delinquents to jail, I gave them a break by sending them to a hospital for examination. Fortunate timing for them, each one always complained of injuries afterwards. However, this other case I had recently is a true example on how to teach you kids how to deal with a real crisis. You're in for a real treat. September 9th, 2009. It was another normal day with the same routine. Doing morning exercises, catching up on some classic literature, sharpening my skills, and playing an occasional chess match with my secretary, Mr. Bubbles, which for some odd reason beats me every time, but can't take a single message. Suddenly, I get an emergency call to arrive ASAP to the Liberal Arts Building. When I arrived on scene, Police Officer Truffles explains to me that an unknown student was holding Professor Hank Longtrousers hostage by pinpoint and refusing to talk to cops. After this, I approached the door with caution and identified myself with clever persuasion that I wasn't a cop. When he finally let me in and I saw his face, I knew immediately he meant business. Once the student told me his name was Tony, I asked him what was the problem. Tony explained that he had an art project due for Professor Longtrousers today. But when he saw his metal sculpture, he said it displayed poor effort, so he gave him an F. Since Tony needed that A to pass, he had to take drastic measures. The professor's response was that he wouldn't change his mind unless another professional proved otherwise. I saw the sculpture, pathetic, a cat shaped from coat hangers. I took a picture of it with my phone and sent it to my cousin. When he called, I put him on speaker, and he said that the sculpture was beautiful and magnificent. Professor Longtrousers, however, immediately recognized the voice to belong to the famous cat artist Tinkle. After a long, thorough argument, the professor was convinced. Surprising Tony, the professor took his pen, saying, "Gimme that," and gave him an A, dropping any charges against him. This cheered the boy up. As he walked out the door shaking hands with the officer, I knew it was time to make my move. I intervened and stopped the crisis. I even made the campus newspaper, saying the Crisis Intervention Unit reported to the scene, transported the subject to a hospital for further evaluation. So, kids, what do we learn about handling real-life crises? That's right. No matter what the argument is, the best way to end it is to tackle them down from behind. That way, with no one conscious, there is no arguing.
But wait, that's not settling an argument or crisis. That's just
Face punch!
ow! The front of my face.
Yippee-ki-yay, kids.